What's up? So this is my plea to you to avoid debt and getting into things and situations that will ruin your life. So my name is Tony Chan, a single dad of two, and I'm documenting my life and my thoughts. And in today's video, I really want to stress that we want to avoid situation that is going to hurt us long term. Right. So the easy example, and this is a recent one that my friends and family is a car loan. All we need as human beings is to say have a car from go to A to B. We do not need any fancy car. We do not need a Tesla. We do not need these fancy touchscreens. All we really need is a car to turn on and run. That's all we need. And when I hear, especially other single parents and single dads like myself, get a car loan. Cars that are like $500 per month, $600 per month. On top of that, the insurance you got to pay for. It drives me crazy, right? Because we don't need those things. My car is a 2011 Toyota Camry with over 200,000 miles on it. I do not need no fancy stuff. That's all I need. It works. It takes me from A to B, right? And we definitely need a car. Don't get me wrong. We definitely need a car. What I'm saying is that we do not need a fancy car, right? We could buy the cheapest thing, cash for under like 5K, 10K. That's all we need. And the reason why I'm so against loans is number one, like it's bad because you have to pay someone else for it. And then you're paying on top of a high interest rate. And then it's just another headache you got to deal with in terms of payments. Do not get a car loan. Don't do it, right? And these finance people or the car mechanics, you got to pay for mechanics as well for these fancier cars. These newer cars, from what I understand, are harder to fix as well because of all the electricity and the electronics that go with it. Just get a regular gas car. I highly recommend a 2011 Camry. While it has broken down a few times, that's because it's my fault. I did not take good maintenance of it. But just buy a really good car, an old car like a 2011 Camry, and just take good maintenance on it, and it will work wonders. Like after I decided to really put more thought into my car maintenance, now my car is running great, right? And that's because once again I took good care of it after experiencing some few breakdowns. But my point is just that we do not need any type of loan, even credit cards. So I actually stopped using credit cards. I'm a big believer in Dave Ramsey, and there's another book called Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins. And he didn't really talk about debit cards, but he just talks about getting out of debt or not using debt as much as possible. We do not need that. And so there's weird because there's research that shows that if you use credit card versus debit card, you actually spend more with the credit card. I think there's some psychological belief that because it's not really our money, because it's a credit card, that we just spend more. Versus debit card, if you spend it, you're going to see in real time your money go down. You're going to see that subtraction real fast from your real account. So, and I've noticed that. I've been using debit cards for a few months now. I was like, oh yeah, I definitely feel that pain. Because once you feel that pain of using your debit card and seeing that money come out in real time, it makes you double think, oh, do I really need this? No, I don't need this, right? And it makes it easier to say no to things that will make you spend money. And it doesn't mean being less frugal. It just means that you're smarter with your money, right? It's less things to even think about. Less is more, right? So if I have less things in my house, I just have less things that I need to worry about. And this gives me more mental space and time to work on other things. And so like even with the credit card stuff, I persuaded myself that I needed points. Like I wanted my credit card usage to at least give me some points. But even then, if you do the calculations, because remember, based on psychology, you're going to spend like 10 or 20% more using the credit card. The points is not going to be any better. Like the points is not even worth it. So this is why I just switch back to debit card and stick to the debit card. And also with the debit card, you're going to have to use the PIN number. So even the PIN number acts as a friction from you spending money, right? So actually like it's crazy because if I compare like the months before of when I was using credit cards to the months now when I started using debit card, it's night and day. Like I spend way less when I use debit card. It's because I'm just much more thoughtful. I'm not spending I'm not spending willy-nilly on just things because I have a credit card. So no car loan, no credit card. That's how I'm doing it right now. This is all the ways I'm doing it. Another thing is this idea of buying a house because of our kids, right? Like I understand that we want more space for our kids, but they don't really need that. I grew up in a house in government housing with 8 different people living in there, right? And we all shared rooms. And I say that we did not become evil or bad or anything like that. So I think we all turned out pretty damn good. But it's just like this idea that kids need their whole own room, I think it's just not good. Like not reason enough to get a whole mortgage off of that. Hell no, right? And just in my personal preference is that I like to be mobile. Like I like to have the option to easily move out somewhere and go somewhere else. I hate the idea of being stuck in one house with a 30-year mortgage loan, paying what, 7% interest rate, and that interest rate continues to go up. It's crazy how expensive everything is now. And then like just being stuck in one place, I gotta pay for the HOA, I gotta pay for insurance, I gotta do the yard. It's just so many things that go with buying a house and paying for all these different things that to me, it just, my life is much simpler if I just live in an apartment. They both have I have 2 kids, so they both have their own room. And I have my own room. And that's it. That's all we need. Like this apartment right here served my need. And I love this quote. It's like, choose the least you need, not the most you can afford. I love that quote so much I hang up above my monitor because it's just a reminder that I don't need all these fancy things. I do not need to upgrade to a better car. I do not need to upgrade to a bigger apartment. I do not need to buy a house. I do not need to upgrade my phone or upgrade X, Y, and Z. I don't need to do those things. I already have what I need. And this is where like the culture stuff comes in, where you have to battle against the advertisement. You have to battle against the culture. You have to battle against social norms, social influence and stuff like that, because everybody is trying to upgrade. Everybody's trying to go to the fancier things. And I've just learned to, number one, not care anymore. And number two, is just, I don't need those things. I have learned to become content with what I have. And as soon as I become more content of what I have, I'm not out here buying a lot of different things. Like the only thing I really spend my money on is experiences now with my kids when we go out and have fun, or food, of course, groceries, like the regular stuff like rent and utilities. Of course, we pay for stuff like that. But aside from that, I put the surplus of money, like the money that I'm now saving, into like investment accounts and 401k or investment in my business, so that I'm using new softwares to help me do my business. And so I'm just like, when I hear my friends and family get stuff that I know for sure is going to burden them with finance and money, and even like just taking care of a new thing, of a new car, I just know for sure it's going to be much more burdensome. And to me, as a single dad, my life is so simplified. I try to simplify my life as much as possible. The less things I got to worry about, the more things that I can actually focus on and do better on. And so this is why I'm heavily against like now using credit card. You don't need a credit card. Now, do not get a car loan. Do not get a mortgage. Like unless you have the money to pay those things outright cash. But in my situation where, I need money and I want to make sure I safeguard my money, like I cannot just go out there and start spending it like crazy. And so like, yeah, I think that's my spiel on just simplifying your life as much as possible, understanding and being content with all the things that you currently have. Like if it's something that could truly tremendously improve your life, then of course buy it. But if not, then why? You got to ask yourself, why are you buying this? Is it because I'm trying to impress others? Who cares? I don't need to impress them, right? Let me keep my money. Do I really need to go out with my friends and drink and go to these expensive restaurants? No, I don't need to do that. We could cook at home. Right? I made cooking at home saves you so much money, right? I just have a regular air fryer. I have a blender for my protein smoothie. It's so easy to make food at home. Like, yeah, I think this is why I feel like I'm very successful right now, is because I have done things that have made my life so much easier and so much easier. It's easy for me to track everything that's happening in my life. And I use Google Calendar to track all the actions that I'm taking and so much more, but that's like a different story. It's just, yeah, that's my spiel. We do not need all these different things in our life. We do not need to upgrade. We do not need these loans and debts and have all these financial burdens. We don't need those things, right? Our money can be best served elsewhere. So my name is Tony Chan. If you want to watch more videos of me documenting my life, check out this video on the end screen right here.